This conference will now be recorded.
So yesterday we were having some problem with data type, right? So we were unable to get the data type, and we are getting some error there. So there was one small thing which I missed from my side. That is, whenever we are creating a data type of YAML, we just need to include library here. If we don't include library here, it won't be accepted. That is what has happened. So if you see in the data type, this is the second one which I have created. Here I have not created the library type of file. So when I try to include here, so if I try to include instead of this one, I will give data types and data type. That's all. It is coming as error. So this is what happened yesterday. All we need to do is whenever you are creating a data type YAML, create as you wish, like types and what are these are all the standard structure types, and you can use the type which you want. Just keep mention library here. So if for this only, if I take example, if I give in the data type dot YAML, if I give library, okay, this is I have created this as a data type file, right? So in this file we have library. So this is a YAML type of specification. So don't get confused. So here I created two types, so no need to worry. All let me create it from first so that you won't get confused. Here we just need to create a data types, create a file, new file, and create a specification type only. No need to create the data type. I'm just create, let's say my data type working. I will give create, and here I will give my this step, this one, all everything I will give. From here I will give and even if I use this one also, it will give error for me. Let me show you. So if I use data types and my working type, it will give me error. But if simply I add library here, just remove this title, that's all, it will come here. The error has gone. Okay, we need to give library here for our data type to work. That means we are declaring it as a library so that we can use it in other YAML files. Okay, any questions here?
Type also not required as a data type, right? Only specification is fine, right?
Yes, it is fine.
Okay.
So what I'm here doing is I'm keeping uses. So this our main what is the meaning of this? Our YAML uses this type. So this data type we are using. That is, we are declaring it here. And I'm creating just a variable so that I can use it for the rest of the APIs. So when I say my type, for my type I'm giving this is the type. And what I will do is in my body JSON application JSON I will give my type. So if I just remove this one dot, so it is having two types. I can select any of the following. Suppose request data type. That's all. Okay, this is the catch which we need to follow. I think Devanand has arrived. Devanand, I was just mentioning that yesterday we have missed one type, right? So for that one, we have to give library in this one. So we have to declare our file as library so that we can use our YAML file as a data type. Okay.
Okay.
So when we keep library here, it will come automatically. No error will be coming here.
Okay, Kirti, then understood.
Yeah. And here what we were doing, so I have included the type for body. Let me just include this for response as well. So it is very simple. All we need to give is type, type, and what is my this one? My type, it should come here. My type dot, here this is a response. So I have one response called as success response type. That's all. In the similar way, I have to give for other also 400. So for 400, I did not declare any type yet. Type, my type, So it has only two things: request data type, success response type. I want 400 bad request type also, internal server error type also. For that, what I need to do, I just need to add this one. So let me just remove this to avoid the confusion. Delete. Yeah, here we have our types, right? So here we have one type, request data type. In a similar way, we have success response type. In the similar way, what I will add is, I will add, sorry, let me copy this and I will paste it for bad request response type. Bad request response type. For bad request, what we can give here in the example, we can give 400, and in the message I will say bad request. In the similar way, I will give for internal error also. So this will give error when whenever we are copying it, it will say duplicate key, bad request response. So we have to change the name. I will give here internal server error response type. For this one, I will give 500, and I will say this is internal server error contact. I'm saving this, and if I go to here, now I will get all the types which I have declared there. So for 400, I will give 400 bad request, and in the same way, I will give for 500 type my type dot internal server error response. That's all. So here you can see in the post, if I click on post, you can see all the types. You already know, right, what we were doing, how we are viewing and all. Example. So whenever you see this one, like it is coming in this one, it means our API, whatever we have done in the YAML, it is success. I mean, it is in the correct syntax format. It is in the expected working way. And now let's use, so until now what we have taken, what we have seen, example and type. So how to do the example? Just create a folder and create an example file. So like this, suppose in the request file, I'm giving whatever the example which we need. So whatever earlier we used to hard code it. So now just simply paste whatever you're hard coding it in the example files and include them. How to include them? In the example only, you can, whenever you are giving example, right? Simply you can say exclamatory include. Whenever you say include, it will automatically come what are all the files you have. Just include that particular YAML file. This will hold good for all the examples. But for type, what we have to do is we have to declare in the beginning only, saying that it uses, our entire API uses this particular data type, and we have to declare a variable. So here my type is my variable through which I can refer to that particular data types. So I will say under application JSON, I will say type my type dot or whatever type we need. Okay, now let's see what are the what is a trait and how to use the trait. Okay, example and data type. Do you guys have any questions in examples and data types?
No, Kitty.
Okay. So now let's see what is a trait. So here, let's for understanding trait, let me just give you in the post. Now I'm giving some body. If at all I want some headers. So in the yesterday we have discussed, like if at all I want a header like transaction ID or unique ID, whatever the ID may be. So if I want in headers, I will keep under post in alignment to body, I will give headers and I will give my header name. Yeah.
Sorry, Kirti, one doubt. Today, I think record is not yet started.
Oh, is it? Okay. It is showing recording.
Okay, then fine. Okay.
Yeah. So under header, what I will take is, so we can take the default headers if we want. Otherwise, if you want any your own header, like I want like X transaction ID. I want something like this. We can create it. So colon, enter. And we have all general things like if you want description, we can keep this is the transaction ID for the API. Okay, and I'll click on enter and I can give example as well, example, and I can give like, okay, I think here I have to give the type or value. I'm not giving type actually. Type. Now let me enter it again. Enter. I have type. Type I am giving. Let's say this is my integer. And then enter example. I will give here example. Something like this. This will be my transaction ID example. And I will give this is required. So this header is required. Suppose if you have, so now this will be our API. That means for post API, I have told that this particular header, whatever the header is there, this is a mandatory header and it should be present. Now let's say you have to have this particular header for let's say you have in the similar post way for the create employee, you have something called as create department, create supervisor, create mechanic, something like that. You have multiple APIs and for all of them you want to use this particular header. So instead of typing it and instead of giving it in a hard-coded way, we can give it as a trait. So trait is a reusable piece of code in YAML where we can use it whenever we want it. We can refer it in the same way. So example means it will be just used for examples, but traits means we can use for this part of code. So let us see like how we can create it. So I will simply say I will just copy whatever the code which I want to reuse. I will copy this code. Oh, sorry. I will copy this code. And so for this trait, we can create out of our project also. So let's see. So let me duplicate this tab once and I will open here in the design center. Design center. So here I can click on click new, create new, and I will create a new fragment. So here I will have option like trait. So in this way you can create your trait. Suppose I want to create, this is my header trait because this contains header information which can be reused. So I will give header trait, create fragment. And here after this one, I will simply paste whatever code I have. So this code, whatever this code is there, this will be declared under trait and I have to use this piece of code. So now I am creating my trait out of our project. So if you see here, what is our project? Our project is employee HR API. And I have my header trait here out of my project. How to use this trait within our different project? So we know that this we are going to use in this part, but generally Mule will not understand if we create two different ways. So how to use this trait in our other APIs or other projects? So for that, what we can do is go to this trait, whatever you have created, and you can publish this to Exchange. So that is the main use of Exchange. So when we are discussing Exchange rate, I have told that we can utilize other components, when we can publish our APIs and we can use it. So this is how we can do it. What I will say is I will publish it. Header trait, and I will give version 1.0.0, publish to Exchange. After publishing this to Exchange, we can refer this. So successfully published to Exchange. If you want to, you can go and check in the Exchange what are all the things we have published until now. So here you can see this is header trait which we have published. All the details are coming here. Now how to use this one? So here this is our main project, right? Main API. In the left side you can see files, and if you go down there are Exchange dependencies. Click on this Exchange dependencies and click on plus. So here you can see all the other fragments. So these are all the other fragments, like these are the public fragments which are available, created by MuleSoft only. Like MuleSoft organization by default they have created, and we can use them. So in this one you can either search for your trait like header, it will come, or otherwise you can select from here option also. There are two options, MuleSoft and 180. 180 means I have created here my account, right? So in this my account I have this one. Select this trait and add one dependency. Okay, so if you see here in the dependencies, Exchange dependencies tab, I can see my header trait. Now I have imported this, whatever the trait which is created out of this project in my design center, I have imported this one using Exchange. After importing it, how to use it? So simply you can say in the above, in the main block. So before our APIs, this resource method starts, you can select here. So here no need to type, here only you can see traits, and you can say include. After that it will automatically come. For traits we have to go and include our traits. So where is our trait? Is it in data type folder? Is it in example folder? No, it is under Exchange module folder. So click on Exchange module. It should come automatically. Okay, I have given space here. Okay, so I have given I did not give space here, that why it is not coming. Under Exchange modules, so it will have generally some path. So if you see the path here, if you highlight here, you will be getting some path like 933. That is only coming here. So just select this one, and under this one you have header trait and version. So under this one header trait Ramel. That's all. Let me check. Not enough Ramel again. And for this one also, for this trait, I have to assign something. So like for the data type, we are assigning some value. In the similar way, I have to add this one. So I will give my trait. So this error has gone. So we are including and we are assigning this to my trait variable. Now I have to use this. I can use this in this place. So instead of this entire piece, I will remove it. And you can say here you can see option is. So this means if we click on is, and automatically this will come my trait. So whatever this portion which I was using for headers, I can simply replace it with my trait. And suppose the same piece of header you want to use in some other APIs also. Let's say you have in a similar way create employee. I have, let me just paste it. I have like this. I have create manager. If I have create manager and I have different set of examples and different set of types, but the header should be same. So instead of again writing the same piece of code, I can simply give it is and my trait. So in this place, I will give is and my trait. So that reusable code is reused. And if you want to change anything in the header part, so you can after client says that okay, the header name, I don't like the header name, and he wants to change the header name, so no need to go and change wherever you are going. So if at all we are hard coding it, wherever the header name is there, we have to change in all the places. But now we can simply change in this place. Change here. If at all any name change happens or anything you want to add, you can change it here, publish again, then it automatically the dependency will be loaded. No need to do any change. No need to touch our main project at all. And save it. That's all. Okay, any questions here?
The same, Kirti. So the same treat can be used across any other projects, right? Extra across the application, we can use any.
Yes, you can use in if you create one more similar project like this, and if you add the dependency, it will come into that project. So that is reusable across the internal projects and also the external projects.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, yesterday I did not send this one, so because once we get it right, then I thought of sending it to you. So today I will be sending this entire file to you, so that you will have some backup. If you are doing, you can refer it. I will send this entire project instead of sending only this file. If I send only this file and if you load it, you will not get correct because you will not be having data types and examples. So I will be exporting this entire project and I will be sending it to you. Any other questions, guys? Okay. And let's go to one more topic, that is consuming SOAP service. So if you remember, in the first two to three classes, we have discussed about REST API and SOAP API. What are the differences we have seen? So just to give some backup, like here, I have in any in any SOAP UI, for REST API, what do we have? We have URL something like this. Whatever we are doing, I have something like this. We will be having our API something like this, right? For REST API, we will be having a method which are standard and predefined, like post put. We are not defining it. These are standard methods, and we'll be having a protocol, a domain name, which consists of host and port, and we'll have base paths and subpaths, and we'll have parameters. This is the structure of REST API. It will have request and response bodies. And you also know that it will have the response codes and response phrases. Here you'll be getting 200 requests in a similar way. In the similar way, we will have SOAP API also. What does SOAP API consist? So generally SOAP API will give, for any SOAP API, we will have a WSDL file. WSDL. So whenever any URL it is provided, if at all it is ending with question mark and WSDL, it means it is a SOAP API. And it will have operations instead of standard methods like put, post, and delete, something like that. It will have customized operations. So if I load this WSDL file here, so for SOAP testing, it is better you use SOAP UI. So it is very easy and it is very user friendly. So install the SOAP UI. I think you have already installed it, and click on SOAP, give the WSDL here, and I will say calculator sample. These are all the things. So if I open here, so this is my calculator sample. I will be having multiple operations. These are custom operations. Okay, and here we'll have request and response. So whatever we give request here, suppose if I give 7 and 8, 15. So in the similar way, we have multiple operations. So how to consume this API in our MuleSoft? So until now, what we have seen? We have seen exposing a REST API and utilizing a REST API. Now we'll see utilizing the SOAP API, how to utilize this SOAP API. So whenever client comes to you and he says he wants to invoke some APIs, so you are well versed with how to invoke a REST API. I'll show you. I'll say SOAP consume API. So here, whenever we are doing, we are keeping a listener. So this is for exposing REST APIs. And if you want to use other REST APIs, we are using request. So this for request only, I have mentioned how to, I have given some of the mock services so that you can mock it and you can utilize them, how to invoke them. Okay, now we will see how to utilize the WSDL file. I mean, how to consume the SOAP file. For that, you need to have just WSDL. Nothing is required. You can just have WSDL. Automatically, everything will be done. So the client will give WSDL. And here you can select, you can search for consume. So here you will have different types of consume. Here web service consume is our API connector. Drag and drop it. So as you all know, whenever we are doing any steps, the first step is to create the connection for any connector. So create the connection, and here it will be asking what is the default. So default SOAP 11, everything default will be as default unless and until client wants some other different thing to be invoked. And for WSDL location, just give your WSDL here. So I have my WSDL, copy it and paste. So automatically everything is coming. I did not do anything. Whenever we give WSDL, automatically the service port, everything will be coming automatically, whatever the services here are. Okay, I will click on OK. So it will, if at all your internet connectivity is little slow, it will take some time to come automatically. So don't panic there, it will come. Just wait for a few minutes. And here if I do a refresh, so here also our operation should come automatically. So actually we can type also here, but generally it should come automatically. So if I will click on refresh metadata, and I'm doing the refreshing types, fetching metadata case. So all these things should happen. See here, now I'm able to see the operations. Whatever the operations this particular WSDL has, I can take it. Suppose if I take divide, or I will give multiply, and for the body, I will give the payload only, and I will keep remaining as is. That's all. So for this one, now I have to give the request. How the request will be formed? So if you remember, for REST APIs, we have formed our request using transform message. So here also we need to do the same thing. Go to the transform message and drag and drop before the connector. Since the metadata and everything has come automatically, that is Mule is loading automatically. If I drag and drop this one, on the right side, you will be able to see the request automatically formed. I did not create any metadata. It has come automatically. Multiply int A into B. So the request has automatically formed. And if I, for the response, if I drag and drop one more transfer message after the connector, I will be able to see the response as well. See the response value. No need to create again metadata. So this automatically will be loaded. All we need to do is we need to define the input type. Whatever we are getting input type, right? We have to define it and we have to map it. So for that we can select whatever we want. Suppose for the, let me configure the listener first. So let's create an API. I will give this is SOAP employee. Okay. And I will give what we are trying to do here, multiply, right? I will give the same thing, multiply. And in the transfer message, you want two numbers. So in how I will give is, I will give my request as this. number 1, or I'll just give, yeah, number 1, 100, 2. So this thing will be my request. What I can do is I can simply go and save this type. Whatever type I am just giving it, I am going and saving it. So let me save like so listener request. So I will load that type in this in the input side of this transform message. Define metadata. I will give add request and I will give, this is a JSON format. I am giving my example. I will give all files. I have soap list request. Number 1, number 2. That's all. So it will take a little time just to load. So now I can see number 1 and number 2. All I need to do is just drag and drop this one. Integer to integer B. So automatically this is coming. So whenever we do this one, just remember this is a namespace which it requires. For this namespace, it will automatically create multiply. So if you see here in the request, you will be seeing like this. Integer A, integer B are embedded within add. That is in turn again inside this one, and here you can see a namespace. So generally this will be automatically created, no need to do explicitly by ourselves. When you simply load the visual and you give, automatically the required code will be generated. So no need to worry about this one. So int A, int B are mapped, and then we have to map with our response. So here on the left side, we'll be having the response from consume. So this is the response from consume, and how we want our response. Let's say I want my response to be like this. Response and something like this. This should be my response structure. So I will simply save this one and I will give soap listener. Okay, soap listener response. So I will give this response in my metadata. Add response, and I will give JSON structure. Example, I will load my file. I will give all files. Soap listener response. Open. This is my response. Select. So I have object and response. I just need to map this one. Multiply response. I will map this value to this my number. So automatically the entire code will be generated. Let me save it and let us see how it is working. Let me run it. And what is the API? Soap employee is my base path. Let me create it. HTTP localhost 8081. Here instead of this one, I will have this one. Soap API, and here instead of update, I will be having multiply. And for the body, my type is JSON. And this is my request. I have saved my request, right? I will give the same request. That's all. Let's see. We tell this is, yeah, it is deployed. Let me go to this one and I will hit it. response is 200. Okay, automatically the mapping has been done, the SOAP is invoked, and the response is mapped to the response which we are expecting. Okay, in this way you can invoke a SOAP API using WSDL. The request and response will be automatically formed. All we need to do is we have to do the mapping. Any questions here? Hello?
Okay, fine. We are. I'm fine.
Okay.
Okay. So any other questions rather than this based on SOAP or whatever we have done in RAMLs or applying policies? In last few sessions we have covered a lot of things. So any questions, if you can recollect any questions, please ask me. Okay, if you don't have any questions, we can wrap this session up and we can see in the next class. Okay.
Okay, Kirti, thank you. Kirti, you'll be sending that project, right?
Yes, I will be sending you that entire project. You can load in your Anypoint platform.
Okay, so that can you show me that after clicking on file, import will be there? How it will be?
Yes. So here generally you'll say you'll have new file and all right. Okay, 1 minute. So how I will be doing is I will be exporting this one. So I will be going here, design center. I close the other ones. So this is my employee HR, right? Here I will be having an option to export. Edit. Let me see. So here in the settings, I'll be having import. So here I will do download project. So when I do download project, entire thing will be downloaded. What you have to do is you have to do import and give it from your browser. So file or zip, choose the file. Whatever I have given the downloaded, you can choose it.
Okay, Kirti, got it. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, Kirti, that's it.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kirti.